Hey, what is up everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video today here on CodeNamePizza. And in today's video, I've got for you the 6 most deadly and OP weapon builds in all of Modern Warfare 2. These weapon builds are so great that they'll basically allow you to win every single gunfight, as long as obviously the opposing team aren't using the same weapon as you. They've all been tried and tested, and personally, I cannot recommend these 6 more. They're amazing, and you are gonna love them. Before we jump into it, if you are brand new to the channel, do make sure you click that subscribe button. Support the channel by doing that. We are on the road to 1 million subscribers, and my goodness, I would love to get there, so please do that, and also leave a like on the video if this does help you out. But without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Oh, and also, I got an email today from Activision with a load of codes for double XP and also COD points as well. So if you do want any of those codes, just tell me what platform you want inside of the comment section. I'll pick a few of you guys. Let's jump straight into it. So, starting things off with the weapon build that I had the most fun playing with, and one that I genuinely went into a game and got like 50 kills, and really easily as well. And this is going to be the PDW, or if you're an old school player, the P90. Straight off the bat, the PDSW is a pretty powerful weapon, but with these attachments I'm going to tell you to add on right now, it makes the weapon basically unstoppable and so much damage at a ridiculous range as well. So these attachments are as follows. Place on the PDSW and go to the barrel section. You're going to be placing on the 18.75 Cloak 90 barrel. Then inside of your under barrel slot, you are going to be placing on the Demo IMP 44 grip. Inside of your laser section, you're going to be making your way over to the EXF solar flare and placing that on. Now inside of your optic section, you're going to be placing on the Cronin mini red dot. And finally, inside of your rear grip, you're going to be placing it on the Stip 40 grip. And place whatever camo on you want. Obviously, I'm rocking the gold camo because I've used this weapon so much because I freaking love it. And it looks gorgeous in gold as well. You guys can see from my gameplay right now that the weapon is freaking unbelievable, and I massively recommend it, especially if you're a run and gun type of player like I am. SMGs have always been my favorite to run with throughout all of Call of Duty history, and this weapon is absolutely incredible. And you can tell how good it is just by the map that I'm playing on right now. Genuinely, I have nightmares about this map when it comes to SMGs, but this proves a point that this build is literally incredible. So there you go. There's your weapon build for your PDSW. Sticking to SMGs right here, we're going to be making our way over to our second SMG class on today's list, which is going to be the Fennec. Now, the Fennec is a weird weapon. It feels quite bulky, but at the same time, it's got an incredible rate of fire, which means you should be able to win gunfights as long as you have the correct build on this weapon. And that's exactly what I've got for you right now. So place your Fennec on, and these are the attachments that you need to add to the Fennec to make it unstoppable. You're going to be placing on the X10 RR40 muzzle. For your laser, you're going to be placing on the VLK LZR 7MW. Inside of your rear grip, you're going to be placing on the Fennec stippled grip. Inside of your underbarrel, you want to place on the FSS Shark Fin 90. And finally, for the mag, place on your 45 mag, because like I said, it has a ridiculous rate of fire, and you are going to go through so much ammo on this weapon, or at least waste some ammo if your shots aren't perfect. And also, with these SMG builds, just keep in mind that you are very limited to ammo with them. Like for the PDSW, you get a decent amount, but for the rest of them, my goodness, you have barely any. So maybe go into the game with a munitions box. It might help you out a little bit, especially if you're going for those higher kill streaks. Or you could just place on scavenger. Basically, you kill an enemy and you can get their ammo, right? As you guys can see by the gameplay, the Fennec is fantastic. Like I said before, the rate of fire is incredibly fast. And with this weapon build, you're going to win all the gunfights. Trust me, especially if you are close by those enemies, they absolutely stand no chance at all. I would probably say that this is the best SMG to use for close range combat right now. But you can also get kills at long range. Just the damage drop is a little bit more significant than the PDSW. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed that Fennec class. Moving on to a more meta weapon that you'll probably see most players using right now, and that is the AK-74 build. Or inside of this game, it's called the Kastov. More specifically, the Kastov 76-2. The weapon build I'm about to show you is incredibly good. And also, just keep in mind that this weapon does not need any kind of sight on it at all. The iron sight is good enough to be able to place 5 different attachments on this weapon instead of using one of those attachments as a sight, and you'll be able to destroy all the competition, especially medium to long range. And the attachments that you're going to be placing on this weapon are going to be as follows. Inside of your muzzle slot, you are going to be placing it on the Kastovia DX90. Inside of your barrel slots, you are going to be placing it on the Kastovia 343. Now, inside of your underbarrel, you want to place on your FSS Shark Fin 90. You want to put the 40 round mag on. And inside of your rear grip, you want to place on the Ivanov ST70 grip. And once again, yes, I played this game too much. The gold camo is going on. But as far as the gameplay goes right now, you guys can see how good this weapon is. A lot of people hate this map. Personally, I quite like this map. I'm a weird freak. I understand that. But I like the map, and I got a ridiculous amount of kills once again on this game due to the fact that this weapon build is very freaking good. I strongly recommend this weapon for medium to long range, but it does wonderfully short range as well. Just, you're gonna maybe lose a few gunfights, especially to those SMG builds that I told you about before. But moving on right now to our next weapon of today's list, we are gonna stick with ARs, and we're gonna go with the weapon that you've probably seen the most since launch, and this is currently the best build for the M4. Now, the M4 is one of those weapons that has been spoken about so much since launch day that it will probably be nerfed at some point, but this is by far the best build currently inside of the game that you can place on your M4. And this is going to be as follows. Inside of your barrel slot, you want to place on the High Tower 20. Inside of your under barrel slot, you want to place on the FSS Shark Fin 90. Inside of your optic, you want to put on the Cronin Mini Pro. Inside of your stock, you want to place on the Tempest P80 Strike. And finally, inside of your rear grip, you want to place on the X10 grip. And yes, before you say anything, I'm placing gold camo on. Why? I have no life. I played this game too much. But once again, the gameplay speaks for itself. It's an incredibly good weapon. The only downside is to it that everyone is using this gun. Apart from, like I said before, people are moving now onto the AK, which is kind of cool. So if you want to be one of the only people still using the M4, go ahead. And once again, IW will probably patch the M4 and make it kind of trash. That's what they do with really OP weapons, and this has been OP since day one. Will this still be the meta when Warzone releases in a couple of weeks' time? I have no idea, but right now, in-game, this second, this build is by far the best M4 build, and you will win most gun battles with this one right here. Strongly recommend playing with the M4. It's a fun weapon more than anything to play with, so give it a go, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Moving on to our next weapon build right here, we're going to go in with the Vel 56. This is kind of a weird choice, right? But I freaking love it, and you'll see in the gameplay why it's so freaking good. But let's jump straight into the build of this weapon. For the Vel 46, we're going to be placing on the Slim Guard MKV muzzle. Inside of the barrel slot, we're going to be placing on the LAC 165 Zulu. For our stock, we want to place on the Demo RXT stock. Inside of our rear grip attachment, we want to place on the ZLR combat grip. And finally, we want to have a 50-round mag. Once again, this is very much a weapon with this build that you're not going to lose many gunfights with. The rate of fire is brilliant. There's barely any recoil. I freaking love this build, and it's fantastic. There's really not much downside to this weapon, and like I said before, with many of these builds that I've got gameplay for, the gameplay does speak for itself. I think my favorite thing about this class in general is just the mobility. You're going to be able to jump around corners so quick, run really quickly. If you know an enemy's right across the room, you will catch up to them. So give it a good go, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Which leads us on to our final weapon build of today's video, and one of the 6 best weapons inside of the game right now in terms of builds that I personally love. And this is going to be the STB 556. You're not seeing this weapon played with much yet, but you're probably going to see it played with a lot more during the next week. This weapon build is incredible, just like the rest on the list. I can't speak highly enough for any of them. They're all incredible. And for this build, you want to place on these following attachments. You want to make sure inside of your muzzle slot, you're going to be placing on the Harbinger D20. Inside of your laser slot, you want to go with the VLK LZR 7MW. For your mag, place on the 42-round mag. And then for your comb, place on the FTAC C11 riser. And then finally, for the rear grip, you want to be placing on the Stip 40 grip. Once again, I'm not going to beat around the bush. The gameplay does really speak for itself. Until you physically play with this weapon with this build on, you're not going to understand how good it really is. To be fair, the same with most of these on this list. These builds are all tried, tested for multiple people and myself, and I freaking love all the builds on the list. And the STB is just like the rest. It's incredible. So there are 6 builds inside of the game right now that you're going to be able to absolutely rock up to any gunfight and basically win in the right scenario. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. I hope that I've helped one of you guys out. Remember, if you do want any of those codes, do make sure you leave a comment inside the comment section just with your gamer tag and I'll hit you up. Make sure you leave a like on the video and support the channel. It helps us out a lot. And do make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are once again on the road to 1 million subscribers. And if you can help support the channel by clicking that subscribe button, I would freaking love you. You are the best. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video or the next live stream. Thank you very much for watching, and peace out. Love you all.